Because there's so many rumors.
For those that think that the conspiracy theorists, you might as well put them to bed.
I want you guys, reporters, to get it right.
7700
The first officer through the door, armed with a shotgun. He discharged rounds that we know that the dog was struck and killed.
58-year-old Nicholas and 59-year-old Tuttle were killed when officers executed the search warrant at the home.
And unfortunately, some people just don't have a respect for the sanctity of life.
Here, let's tone it down, and I've asked him that too. And let's focus on the good. We lied in an affidavit.
Okay, 11 District Sergeant on the air for a code 2 downgrade.
11 807 EV, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'm not sure if we want to run this code 2. It's 7815 Harding Street. Drops code 2 suspicious person weapon. She wants to remain anonymous. Advises this location. There's possibly doing drugs and guns inside the residence. Indicates her daughter is also possibly in there. Didn't give much further information or details.
That's clear. I mean, if she's saying her daughter's at the location, let's keep it code 2 for now.
That's clear. I'm getting in it for this code 2 suspicious person weapon, 11-inch 20 speed, 7815 Harding.
Party 2 suspicious person with a weapon on West Detroit Road. Nothing in the description says anything about a person. It just says they can hear gunshots. Can I just downgrade it?
How we ended up at 7815 Harding, and I think I might have said Hardy at some point, and like I told, because he actually brought it up, I said, Mr. Tuttle, Monday night was a tough night for the city of Houston, and Hardy tollway Harding, but I promise you that, as you saw on the affidavit, that we were at the right house based on our investigation to that.
Still need in for this code 2 person, suspicious person weapon past Q, 11-inch 20 speed, 7815 Harding. Suspicious person weapon past Q and 20.
I was going to try to call out. I haven't called out yet.
That's correct. Need unit for this code 2 suspicious person weapon, 11-inch 20 speed, 7815 Harding past Q. It's going on 10 minutes.
What's the details on the call slip?
Daughter's at the location. She possibly thinks there's drugs, guns inside the residence. She wants to remain anonymous. She just called back again asking ETA.
Okay, the daughter being held against her will?
It does not indicate. It just says she's at that location. 24 years of age.
All right, go ahead and send that.
39, clearly already being. Should we check it out?
Clear.
11 807 EV to 44. Hey, you got my permission to go ahead and call out after you get that call taken care of. Appreciate you. Okay, that's good. Thanks, sir.
11H3907. Is it clear for me to call out after this?
11H44. Can you try to call back and see where the report is at? That's clear. We're kind of walking up and down the street. Nobody's flagging us down.
The police arrive at the location and knock on the door. They won't answer, but she wants her daughter arrested. No other information.
I'm not sure. Hey, no, I'm still here, but you can just ignore it. So, don't know what else we can do for it. That's clear.
I tried to do the call back. Security sent me the voice.
Pull up next to me. I'm on the phone with the caller.
That's why I went to voice.
On January 8th, 2019, patrol officers in the East Side Division of the Houston Police Department received a call and were dispatched for service at 7815 Harding regarding a suspicious person. The caller wanted to remain anonymous, but stated her daughter was inside the residence, quote, doing drugs, and they have a lot of guns in the residence. She stated there was also a female in the house, and I'm not going to say the name because, again, it's part of the investigation, and we want to keep this investigation tight. The caller stated she was at the residence, looking through the windows of the residence, but wanted again to stay anonymous. The call slip lists multiple times that the caller phoned into dispatch, repeating her complaint that her daughter was in the residence and there were guns and heroin. Officers arrived on the 8th of January at about 20:17 p.m. Officers parked in the street in front of the residence, just east of the driveway. Officers did not observe anyone outside the residence. Officers walked in the street, back and forth in front of the house, and to see if this complainant would flag them down, and that did not occur. A female was walking down the street while talking on the phone. Officers asked her if she had called the police. She explained that she did not. Then into the phone, she stated we were right in front of that house in 8:15. She stated to whoever she was talking to, hey, the police are at the dope house. The officers called the anonymous caller on the phone number listed in the call slip. She stated she did not want to give any information because they were drug dealers and they would kill her. She wanted the officers to go into the house and get her daughter. One of the officers explained that the officers really cannot go into the house at that time. This is the patrol officers. The officer wrote a detailed note within the call slip history to document their actions, what they had learned, and what they had done. There's a difference between lying about who did the buy and not doing a buy at all. And I think it's really important for the community to remember that we have independent information and evidence from patrol when they went out there for the 911 call, and we have video of that.
You indicated early on there was a tip. Was there
we have
ever a tip?
We have a 911 call where our patrol officers went there from a woman reporting to be the mother of a young woman that was in there doing heroin in this location.
So there was a tip.
Yes, and that's a 911 call. We have the CAD, we have the audios, we have the patrol units that responded. So this was not just an investigator decided to go target a house, as far as we've determined so far, for no reason. So let me just make something real clear again. We had reason to investigate that location. We have found no evidence that we were just there willy-nilly, that there was no reason. We had reason to investigate that location.
We are sick and tired of having targets on our back. We are sick and tired of having dirtbags trying to take our lives. And if you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all.
Think little Joe's just blowing smoke? Think again. This is a search warrant affidavit from Bexar County. As you can see, the police are seeking all records concerning the identity of multiple YouTube accounts and their viewers. They want specifically the subscriber registration information and any and all messages and comments sent or received to these YouTube channels. And it's more than just these on the screen, many more. They are coming after us. They are coming after you. And the only thing that we can do is to stand up against this abuse before it's too late.
And if you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the pot on our police officers.
Who did you have in mind when you said that? You say, well, you know who you are.
You know, I'm talking to the talking heads on some of these mainstream media outlets. I'm talking to the activists who have severely just made our officers the enemy. We only had 995 people that were shot and killed by law enforcement, only 47 of which were unarmed. The fact of the matter is we're doing a great job every single day.
Hi, I'm Joe Gamaldi, president of the Houston Police Officers Union, one of the largest police unions in the nation. The Houston Police Officers Union is endorsing Greg Abbott for re-election because of his unwavering support for law enforcement officers here in Houston and throughout Texas. Governor Abbott recognizes the risks law enforcement face every day. He's advanced policies that strengthen the safety and security of our officers in the line of duty.
Before the dust settled on January 28th, Republican Governor of Texas Greg Abbott had already released a statement. He said this evening's horrific attack on police officers is a solemn reminder of the service and sacrifice our brave men and women in law enforcement make every day to keep us safe. The city of Houston and the Houston Police Department will have whatever state resources they need to bring swift justice to those involved. Exactly what resources were Greg Abbott sending? Well, within 45 minutes after the first officer down call went out, the state of Texas Department of Public Safety had an attack helicopter overhead to kill the victims of the illegal Houston police armed home invasion.
DPS 102. Hey, we are capable to shoot from the helicopter if need be. Y'all want us to launch just in case? Fox Hanger to DPS. If you're still monitoring this channel, go ahead and launch for the aerial platform shooting. 102, we're getting suited up right now. We'll be everywhere for us.
There's your case 102 to Fox. What's that address?
7800 Harding.
2 minutes, 535 Frank, 535 Frank.
And DPS helicopter 102 on southeast. We're en route. Sort of verifies that location going to be west of Broadway Street, south of T25.
7815 Harding Street. Harding.
Okay, that's going to be Harding Street, west of Broadway Street.
That is correct.
Okay, we're talking about 7 minutes. I'd like to get some information about this as well. Do you guys know what kind of, if it was a rifle or a handgun or shotgun that was utilized?
75 Fox, this advice the DPS is up.
And DPS helicopter 102, short 5 minutes out. I'd like to get some information. Is Fox flying currently?
75 Fox, that's clear.
Okay, when we get off scene, are you guys going to want us to stay up high? And if so, what altitude would you guys be at so we can figure out an altitude for us?
Yes, that's clear.
Hey, Fox, just FYI, we're going to have a shooter on board. Probably best if we were a little bit lower than you guys up high. And if you guys want, maybe you guys can go to 1,000 or better if that's good with you guys, so we can stay low and have a little bit of a window. And then 2, does anybody know what kind of weapons the shooters were using, whether it was a rifle, handgun, or shotgun?
75 Fox, stand by. I'm calling our together.
Hey, Fox, you guys want to? Are they working off of the different channels? Everybody on South Central?
Everybody that's doing on the ground is South Central. Escort is on TAC 1 and SWAT's on TAC 2.
Okay, we're clear. Yeah, we're going to have the South Central. But I was trying to get some information to see. I know that I think there's 2 that are still inside of that house. Does anybody have any idea what they shot with? And are they talking to them now as we speak?
Last I heard, there were supposed to be 2 suspects DOA, 1 barricaded inside. I do not know the exact status if that's 100% correct, but that was what I was told. I don't know if somebody can confirm that on ground, please.
Okay, and DPS helicopter 102, I know you guys are busy. Anybody who's going to be able to relay any information from SWAT to us, we can stay in contact with them. Okay, DPS helicopter 102 is a minute out. And Fox, we're going to come down. If you guys are good, 1,000 feet or better, we'll come down to 500 feet. All right, DPS helicopter 102 to Fox, you up?
75 Fox, go ahead.
Okay, so we're standing off about a mile from that scene. So, besides you guys, Life Flight, we need to, we can come down a little bit lower and get in and get set up so we can at least get the overview of the scene if you guys want to come up.
75 Fox DPS. Hey, stand by. We're trying to confirm if there's drones out here. Just stand by for a minute. 75 Fox to South Central Dispatch.
Fox, go ahead.
We need the air for a second. We're going to create another emergency if we don't get this cleared up. Do we have anybody launching a drone on this scene?
Oh, you just hold the air for Fox.
7318. I have a drone.
Are you deploying it?
31, I'm about 5 minutes out. I have emergency code to deploy the drone.
Okay, it's absolutely imperative that before you launch, you let us know.
That's clear.
DPS helicopter 102, in the event that we're utilized for LU support, so we'll probably need to be at least 100, 200 feet below that for the drone.
31, that's clear. I probably won't go over 200 feet.
You can't no more than 50 feet.
75 Fox, the ground units on scene. If anyone can advise if there's going to be any more lifeline helicopters that are going to be needed on the ground.
Hey, Fox, they have one that's still on the ground on standby. I'm not sure if any more is en route.
75 Fox, the ground unit. If I can get somebody to communicate that with Lifeline, we're trying to stay out of the scene to avoid a collision. I just need to know if there's going to be any more helicopters that are going to be needed coming in or out.
Okay, and DPS helicopter 102, we're getting ready to move into the position. Is there anybody that's on top of the roofs that are within that's real close to that address that we're looking at? There's 2 people on top of a roof that we're looking at now. Is that going to be LEO?
75 Fox, any ground or SWAT officer that's on scene on Harding.
The SWAT officers are on a different channel.
75 Fox, can you advise what channel the SWAT officers are on? I need to get in contact with them at the house, please.
Fox, they're on TAC 2. I'm checking. Stand by.
And SWAT 1.
309 to Fox, we do have SWAT on rooftops. That's clear. Is there any way that we can move everything as far as the tactical deployment of officers to HPD Fox? Repeating, HPD Fox.
Stand by. Let me relay that to the SWAT commander.
To be advised, 102, obviously we got the aerial shooter, but we don't have any of the TAC channels. All we have is Fox, Southwest, or Southeast. 7-5 Fox, if anybody on the tactical deployment of officers, if we can switch over to HPD Fox. And DPS helicopter 102, is that house going to be a cream-colored house between a orange and blue house?
309 to Fox. SWAT incident commander says they'd appreciate it if you would help with the escort. They're not going to move to Fox Channel.
That's received. 102, that's going to be tough for us if we end up having to shoot because we're not going to be on the same channel with them. So I don't know how effective we're going to be.
They said the scene is contained and they have a perimeter.
Yeah, DPS helicopter 102 to Fox. You might relay, see if any of the ground guys want altitudes. And if they do, we got that capability and they're able to come out. 7-5 Fox, repeat. So let you know that we have high altitude aircraft that's available. If they need high altitude surveillance, then we can bring our Terraman or our Pilatus out. They're available if you need us. 7-5 Fox, receive. To the ground units on scene, are y'all receiving that? 7-5 Fox to a ground unit supervisor on Harding. DPS is advising if you need a high altitude plane to launch, that they can do that. They just need to be advised on this channel. And a South Central supervisor on scene confirm that they're receiving, please.
Okay, I want to say, you might want to ask SWAT about that, and I think they're working off of one of the tech channels on South Central. Maybe one or two. I'll relay the message.
Fox Finger to DPS 102. It looks like they're not going to need that high altitude surveillance right now. I think they're in the house now.
All right, 102 is clear. Okay, DPS helicopter 102, when they enter the house, are you guys going to want us to go ahead and get low and get into a profile just in case we need to be utilized?
163, is DPS 102 monitoring this channel?
102, we're monitoring.
That's clear, sir. Hey, we have a perimeter around the house. It is secure at this time. We're running a robot. Can you pull back a little bit so we can hear?
Okay, we're clear. And also be advised, we're set up for LU support. And if you guys need us to, if you guys enter the house and you guys want us to get into a search, get down low and get ready just in case we can utilize, or you guys want us to just go ahead and remain out of the way for a little bit?
If you could just stand by at a distance just for a few minutes, we're going to run a robot, and then we're just not sure if there's one or two additional suspects inside right now.
Okay, 102, we're clear, and then just keep us posted. If you guys decide you need us to come down, we'll definitely do it.
That's clear. We appreciate the response.
102, clear.
Fox Hanger to DPS 102 and 75 Fox. Hostile negotiator called me and asked me if y'all could pull out of the way. They're trying to talk to the possible suspects inside, and the helicopters are too noisy. They can't hear. Could y'all have 102 pull up higher, and you guys kind of pull out wider?
102, we're clear.
163 to Randy. Hey, I appreciate it, man. We pretty much got it contained in this house, and we have a good perimeter.
That's clear. If you need to pull completely off, just let them know, and I can pull them completely off.
That's clear.
And DPS helicopter 102 to Fox. Just give me an ascertain if the SWAT team deployed the robot in the back door yet. And DPS 102 to Fox. Just we get another update from SWAT.
75 Fox, are you still on my air?
75 Fox, go ahead.
DPS is requesting a status from SWAT.
And this DPS 102, let's see if there's an update from the SWAT team, if you guys are hearing anything from them, what they're saying.
8402 to DPS 102. They did put the robot in. They're clearing the objective now.
Hey, 402, this is DPS 102. Thanks, sir. And DPS helicopter 102. Let's see if we can get an update from SWAT. And DPS 102, is anybody inside the house, or was somebody throwing something out of a window on the wheel side?
So I believe SWAT's in the house now, I believe.
All right, 102, please. And DPS helicopter 102. Let's see if we can get an update from SWAT.
Any unit over there on the ground can give DPS an update, please.
309, what's DPS needing? And it's DPS helicopter 102, just so we can get an update.
Don't have a lot of specifics. SWAT is working the problem.
Okay, that's fine.
8402 to DPS 102. The objective's clear. You can disregard it. Thank you.
All right, 102, we're clear. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, DPS.
Anytime.
So, okay, just continue on this channel. The objective is secure. We can start releasing everything except Harding Street and get units back in service.
We take tremendous pride in both our mission as well as the high ethical standards we operate under each and every day. That is why the Department of Public Safety Officers Association endorses Governor Greg Abbott for re-election. Governor Abbott's leadership and strong record of supporting law enforcement and commissioned peace officers have made for a safer Texas.
The combined law enforcement associations of Texas are endorsing Governor Abbott to be reelected.
I'm honored to have the endorsement of the largest law enforcement association. It means a lot to me.
The Texas Municipal Police Association is proud to endorse Governor Greg Abbott for reelection.
You have reached the office of Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Please press 1 to leave a comment for Governor Greg Abbott.
Thank you for leaving your comment or message for Governor Abbott. You will now have up to 2 minutes to record your message.
Howdy, Governor Abbott. This is Justin Pulliam. I call on you to ground the DPS attack helicopters. This isn't Iraq. Texas should not kill people from the sky. 2 months ago, you said you'd help bring swift justice to those involved in the deadly Houston drug raid. I hope you will keep that promise by holding accountable the police officers who lied and killed Dennis Tuttle and Rhogena Nicholas. I ask for your assistance in effecting the release of records from the drug raid so the public can finally learn what really happened. I know you can help with the release of DPS records and records the Houston police are trying to hide. You can reach me at 979-705-5521 with any questions. Thank you.
If you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all.
Conducted a no-knock raid. The people home weren't listed on the warrant. HPD Narcotics entered and immediately opened fire. The claimed drugs and handguns, again, were not found. George Bernard was shot, flatlined multiple times, was in a coma for 2 months, and lost almost all of his fingers and toes.